So here we are in the editor, and first thing, like I mentioned earlier, these points are too close to each other. They've done at least a double import of this point. So I'm going to delete any extra data. And then they've mapped this according to Bing Maps. Let me show you what it looks like today, or more recently on the Maxar imagery. You can see a massive temporary settlement has been built here, and a lot of the old information is or I guess you're really just seeing this road here, which no longer exists. And I've checked, it still exists north of the camp, and it may exist over here as well, but the idea of it cutting through the camp is no longer valid. I don't even see it here. I guess what I'm looking for is I want to edit this to what's still valid existing. Looks like this road continues, but beyond that, no. So let's start deleting this segment. I can right click on a node and use the scissors tool. And I'll make this into its own segment. I can't delete everything at once because it's only going to allow me to delete what I have in my browser viewport, or my map viewport, I should say. Now, this looks like part of the road exists up here, but I think I'm just going to have to redraw this part of the road network because the rest of it doesn't exist. It's not really the same road that it was before. And then it sort of picks up here. So I'll use the scissors tool again. Great. Now let's make sure everything connects again, so we haven't broken the concept of there being a road network. I feel like this is more of a consistent road. All right, so now it's still possible to go from this road to there, and I'll continue this road this way as well. So this whole area here is, for the most part, not mapped on OpenStreetMap. Let me see about this residential area. It looks like it might be included in this residential area. Does that cover everything? Yeah, it looks like they've been careful about including this whole area in the residential area tag. I'm a little on the fence about whether they should have included this sort of green space as residential, but it isn't so important right now. Let me continue adding some roads, and then we'll zoom in and start grabbing buildings. I think it'll be easier to do buildings because they're all some kind of standard shape or prefabrication, possibly. It's freezing up. And then you saw this extends west for some distance, and I wanted to make sure the road network, I'm not going to grab everything in this one video, but I wanted to make sure it's clear to somebody that it's not just a residential area tag, that we've actually seen some of the roads that go in here. I guess it's a good question. Does this road connect to this one? And I see just sort of this darker texture where I'm not sure they're at the same level that a vehicle would want to go that way. I'm definitely going to connect it with a footpath for now. And you know, maybe I'm wrong about this, but or just a regular path. I'm sure a bicycle could do it. All right, let's take a look at these buildings. So these ones are actually a little bit less regular, right? You can tell they're not the exact same orientation and shadow. Whereas here, it feels much more regular. I feel that I can draw one of them and then copy paste. So let's do that. I draw the corners, right click and choose the square tool, then I choose building. Then just Command C, Command V, and I have another building that I can place here, and here, and here. And I'm not sure if I can copy multiple ones. I can select them. Awesome. These seem to be on the same offset from each other. Just keep hitting that, Control V, and seeing if it seems to line up with what we're seeing with the houses. I feel like in this case it didn't. I'm going to right click, get the move tool, and adjust this one, and adjust this one. I'm just noticing this one also could use an adjustment. Then we see these ones here. Same formula. Corners, square, building, copy. Paste it a lot. Then paste, copy paste the whole group. You might notice in the upper right, there's this running count of how many buildings I've added, deleted, or modified. So if I create a new road and connect it to an existing road, that'll count as 2 up here. And as it starts getting closer to 100, it gets more of like a caution color. That's because imagine if I lost all these changes, I'll be really frustrated if I have to start from scratch. So let me just create one more set of changes here. And this larger building here, which probably has some kind of function. And then this, I'll come back to that in a second. Just from the shadow, I can tell something interesting is going on over there. I just noticed this, which really looks to me like a water tower. You can tell it has kind of a long tripod kind of thing. It could potentially be something else, so I'm just going to label it as tower. But it is an option. Make this connect over here. I guess the question is, when they're not what we would think of as formal roads, then when do you decide what is a road and what should be mapped and what should be kind of free form? I think just something that lets people know that if you were here and trying to get over to here, there's roads that connect that, whereas if you were over here, I don't know, I would connect these two. Whereas if there's shorter distances that don't seem to have defined corridors, I'm not in a huge hurry to decide, oh, this is or this isn't a corridor between these roads. And let's see how this connects to the rest of the city. So someone had already started drawing buildings in this part of the city, but they haven't really spent a lot of time on even like the roads that are down there. I'm going to go ahead and draw in what appears to be a road connection here. It's not unusual in areas that are supporting large populations of refugees for them to create some kind of physical separation that makes it, for security reasons or for competition reasons, they don't want it to be an easy commute between the two communities. So, I mean, I feel that these are connected here somewhere. Just looking at the size of the buildings, I feel that there's some way you can. It's too tough to tell if this is some kind of barrier or slope where that line is. But I do know that I can connect these two. And this is the thing, you can kind of adopt a place and come back to it over time. If you think about it, if you did 20 or 30 edits, let's say you got 20 or 30 buildings at a time and then went back to work, over time you can get hundreds of buildings, and currently there's no rush to get it specifically developed to a certain level. Just that that is going to be relevant for someone who is working in this area, or it could be studying how this area develops. I mean, it's really remarkable to see how this has changed in the past, but we don't have a minute-to-minute archive of those changes. That might be interesting. So that might be interesting to see, is even if someone comes back to this in 10 years and the whole area has changed again, they would be really interested to see what existed before on this level of detail. What was I going to show? Is there were some buildings that were previously traced that I'm not sure exist anymore. Yeah, this one, I don't see a building there anymore. So I'll delete that. But some of them, this one, this one, this one, to some extent these ones, they do exist. So I think that sort of those people decide they want to stay where they are, or they're facilities that could continue to operate where they are. Yeah, 85 changes. Let's save it as it is. And rows.